All right, guys, listen up. Today, I'm about to give you something life-changing, something that most guys never truly master. Most guys struggle with this for forever. You know, you hear about yo-yo dieting where you start to do well for a little bit, but then you gain your weight back and you fall back and forth. And you can't ever really be consistent, right? Discipline is your key to power, respect, and freedom. And if you can lock this in today, which that's my goal, your future self will thank you endlessly for it. But before we dive deep on this, I want you to smash that subscribe button right now. We're building an unstoppable brotherhood here, pushing hard for that 1K mark, about to be at 1,000 subs, and I'm dropping life-changing content daily. You are going to want to be a part of this movement. So subscribe. All right. Back when I was in the Marines, I was in the Marines for 4 years in combat. Back when I was in the Marines, bro, discipline wasn't optional. It was the very air we breathed. You know, early mornings, brutal PT sessions, constant inspections in general. And it wasn't fun, but it shaped us into unbreakable men. And I thrived there. I mean, it was hard and it freaking sucked, but you learn to adapt. You know, and I look back at the Marine Corps and the military and I realize all the dumb shit that they did, that they made us do, and all the discipline, it all has a reason. Because I was in combat and I almost got shot in the head by a bullet when I was in Afghanistan. When I was 20 years old, I was up against a wall and the bullet hit the wall like literally a foot away from my head. I saw the dirt off the mud on the building in Afghanistan. It was crazy, but you know, everything that they trained us for led us to that final point, that time, that day. It's just being disciplined, no matter what, you know, life throws at you. But the day I left the Marines, things changed drastically for me. Suddenly, there was no more structure. There's no accountability, just total freedom. No one breathing down my neck. And honestly, I slowly started to fall apart. I was sleeping in late, skipping workouts, binge watching garbage on TV, eating junk, binging food, binging video games, mindlessly scrolling on Instagram and just hooked on porn. All of it, just in college, just coasting, drifting through life. And I was becoming everything that I despised. And I remember vividly one morning staring at myself in the mirror. This was technically at the beginning of 2019. I was looking at myself in the mirror, looking at my belly, looking at my love handles, my back fat, everything, disgusted, thinking, bro, is this seriously who you've become? You survived boot camp, you survived combat, deployments, and all these hardships only to become soft. And that realization hit me like a punch to the gut, man. I knew that I had to reclaim the discipline that once defined me. And it didn't happen overnight. It definitely didn't happen overnight. It was a process. But at first, I mean, you know, my doubts that I had, started to fill my mind constantly. Can I really change again? Will I be able to do it? Will I be able to pull myself out of it and finally have some structure, have some discipline, be consistent? But slowly, consistently, over time, I clawed my way back. And today, I'm here to help you do the same thing, to regain control of your life and harness the immense power of discipline, okay? And dude, most guys confuse discipline with motivation, okay? They're totally separate. Or confusing discipline with motivation or willpower, right? And that's why they fail. So motivation is feeling like doing something. You know, it's like you can listen to some motivational content and it can hype you up, you know, get some music in you. You know, you're feeling good, right? You're feeling good. You're motivated. Right? You just got a new gym outfit, new gym membership, right? You know what I'm saying? Like motivation, it's fleeting, right? It's feeling like doing something. Discipline is doing it anyway. And most importantly, when you don't want to. Now, willpower is resisting immediate desires that sabotage your long-term goals. Okay? It's being willing to say no to the things that give you temporary satisfaction or that give you temporary pleasure, right? But yet they deter you from the path of what your overall long-term goal is, okay? You need willpower in order to accomplish your long-term goals and short-term goals, whatever it is that you're doing in life, whether it's building the body, the job, the side project, the hobby, you're getting your finances in order, right? So that's what willpower is all about. Now, some more context, right? Like motivation, wanting to hit the gym, right? Discipline is going to the gym when you'd rather stay in bed. It's going to the gym when it's cold out, when it's raining out. It's doing it anyway, okay? Willpower, again, it's skipping the fast food despite having those intense cravings. Or, it's like whenever I get if I get a craving once in a while for some Oreos, sometimes I give in, maybe once or twice a year. But maybe I'm just saying, okay, screw it. I go and rip through a whole pack of Oreos, right? I don't really keep a lot of crap in my house because I know that I don't really have the strongest willpower with having junk around. So if it's here, I'm probably going to eat it. I just don't even like to keep it around, okay? Now, real discipline kicks in exactly when motivation fails you, and that's what you need to remember. So starting small with it. You need to have an unbreakable foundation because everything is about having a strong foundation, right? And discipline isn't glamorous at all. It starts with the small, mundane tasks that we do every single day, right? Make your bed every morning. No excuses. Something very simple. Keep your environment spotless. Like my car, I clean my car every single week. I stay groomed. I get a haircut on a regular basis. I trim my beard every week. We stay clean. We stay fresh looking. My apartment's clean. Everything's clean in my life. It's a habit. It's a character thing. Keep your environment tidy. Take care of the things you have. I just got a new car a couple of months ago, and I drove a Honda Accord, a 2012 Honda Accord for over 6 years, and I still clean that car every single week. I kept it spotless. Why? Because it's not about how nice something is. It's about how well you take care of it, and it's a character thing that's ingrained in you. Like if you're, wiping your counters, it's having high standards for yourself in your life. If you're wiping your counters in your kitchen and, you just kind of wipe around the paper towel holder or the, what's it called? The toaster, right? Without actually picking it up, right? It's a character thing. You move the paper towels and clean it. You clean around the toaster, all that stuff. It's a character thing. It's taking out the trash without delay. Oh, it's not quite full. It's full, but it's not quite full. Like, fucking take the trash out, dude. And it's all these seemingly minor habits that lay the unbreakable foundation. And that's what it's about. The toughest Marines and the most successful entrepreneurs in life, they all start here. If you skip the basics, you'll never be able to handle the big things. So some of you guys you have really big aspirations and you want to do really big things in your life, but you can't even tackle the small things. It's in the daily habits and the daily discipline that the man is built. How does he live his life on a daily basis? It's in the small details that matter the most. Now, how do we frame like progression of discipline? Now, initially, discipline actions are brutally tough. They're tough. It's hard. It's not fun. There's no motivation, okay? Every fiber in your body screams to quit. But gradually, these actions become automatic, even enjoyable, and just routine, right? And once it's routine, you must level up immediately. Okay, so you've got to start incorporating like stretching or meditation after workouts, right? Upgrade your diet incrementally, right? I'm not saying you got to go to counting your calories and your macros, but just start making little adjustments little by little. Constantly find new ways to challenge yourself in the gym, with your nutrition, in your life in general. And you can never, I repeat, you can never let comfort creep in. Comfort is like a drug, and it's a very, very slippery slope. You can never get too comfortable. You have to keep pushing the limits of your discipline. Now, let me just give you a quick little story. So about a year and a half ago, I had moved back home. I was in a bad place financially, and I moved back with my parents for like 9 months. I didn't have a job for 4 or 5 months. I had videos on this. I was super depressed. I couldn't get a job. I was super depressed. I was letting my body slip. I was shredded just before I moved to my parents, but I was letting my body slip. I was letting my eating habits slip. And you know what? I was living in Mississippi at the time, which is where my parents were living. And there's not really any healthy food there, but I still could have meal prepped every single week. There's no fucking excuses. We don't make excuses, but I let my body go. I put on about 20 pounds. I was playing video games. I was drinking. I was lazier. I was waking up later, especially when I didn't have a job. I was waking up later. And it was just like one thing after another. It's kind of like a snowball effect, like in a positive way, right? When you have momentum and you're moving forward and you're progressing, you're improving, you're crushing goals, and you're feeling hot, you're feeling momentum, and you just got the consistency, right? Positive snowball effect. It's the same way. The inverse is also true. If you get out of that momentum, one thing starts to slip. You start waking up later. Okay, you start putting off your workouts. You start, okay, if I've eaten a few shitty meals this week, and it starts turning into 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, 5 days, 4. You know what? You're not going to the gym at all. You're not eating right. And then you start jerking off. You jerk off one time, and then it just kind of spirals out. And you're like, oh, I did it. Now I'll do it again. That's fine. I felt better. But do you really feel better? Do you really feel better? Because I know it just eats at you. That's how it is, right? Because when you know that you should be doing something that you're not doing, and you should be living differently, we start to feel guilty about it. I mean, you should, especially. You start to feel guilty for it, right? Now, discipline. How do we equate? How do we relate the discipline in work and studies, right? Okay. Eat the frog. I'm sure you've probably heard this before, right? Eat the frog means your hardest task of the day first. Your frog must be tackled first every single day. Now, that means waking up earlier, or, maybe you got to dedicate late night hours to crushing your main goal, right? You're working 9 to 5, but you're not prioritizing the time that you need for your 5 to 9 to get out of whatever job it is that you're doing, right? And you've got to create distraction as well. You've got to create distraction-free environments as well to maximize your efficiency, right? Now, I'll give you an example. When I script out my YouTube videos, I'll write an outline of the main points I want to talk about. I usually do some content planning on the weekends, and then I usually record most of my videos right now, usually around the same time every day. It's after I finish my 9 to 5 job. It's just like routine for me. I usually go to the gym at the same time, usually in the morning, and then maybe I train someone in the evening. But it's typically routine, right? You got to have structure. You got to have routine. Another example is distraction-free environment. So I work from home, and I'm also in sales as well. And if I have my phone out, I get distracted. Even if it's on Do Not Disturb, I'm still going to check it. So I got a phone-timed lockbox. It was like $20-25 on Amazon. Probably get one cheaper. And I put my phone in there for deep work sessions. Bro, the phone is the biggest drug that we have. It's just as bad as actual illicit drugs. And it's dangerous. So I have my phone set up. When it's on Do Not Disturb, everything's on dark mode. I have everything like optimized for that. As well as when I record YouTube videos, I do it on my iPhone 16. I don't want to get any notifications. I'm completely present in the zone with you right here. Now, when I'm working, I work 7-8 hours a day, right? I usually put my phone in the timed lockbox for 3 hours in the morning and 3 hours in the afternoon. So it's usually from 9 until lunchtime. I have it out from 12 to 1. And then from 1 to about 4, I take it out, and 1 to 4, I have it locked up as well. So I really only have it locked up for about 6 hours a day. I have it I have my phone out only for about an hour around lunchtime, and then I have it out in the evening. But I keep my phone on D&D most of the day, and to be honest with you, the phone timed lockbox, whenever I haven't used that in the past, I'm getting way more distracted. I'm not making as much money at work, and I'm just not as productive. So there is an argument too, is like, well, you should just have willpower. Yeah, fair enough. But if I have tools that are available for me to use that I can use to help me stay focused, then why not use them? So I highly recommend getting a phone time lockbox if you have the ability to put your phone in there, right? Now, for my students out there, I was in college. It took me 7 years to finish my degree, man. You've got to tackle your difficult study sessions early when you are feeling the most energy. I feel like, honestly, I usually hit the gym first thing in the morning. If I don't work out in the morning, it may or may not get done. And later in the evening, because I'm doing YouTube, that's a priority for me. My job that pays the bills, YouTube, and then working out. But YouTube and my job have been like two of the biggest priorities that I've had. And I'll be honest, the last 6 months, I've put so much effort into YouTube and trying to get that rocket ship off the ground that my fitness isn't as dialed in as it normally is. Now I'm still in shape and everything else, but as my discipline kind of started to slip in the gym the past 6 months, I was still working out just about every day, but it was like kind of varied at what time I would go. Before, bro, it was like 5, 6 a.m. every single day, getting up without hesitation, no snooze, one alarm, I'm up, boom, ready to go. No kind of like getting up, hitting snooze, or getting up and like dicking around on my phone. You know how it is, right? You get up and you kind of lazy, you put your clothes on and maybe you have some food or something and you're just like kind of tired and you fucking go back to sleep, right, man? I would get up, kind of like mess around on my phone, take it slow, and that's just not the way, man. So I know now that I have to, as I'm trying to rebuild my momentum for going to the gym, at the same time, pretty much every day, I set my alarm. I have it on my calendar, exactly what I'm doing, the gym I'm going to, everything. And I get my ass up. As soon as that alarm goes off, I'm up and I'm going to the gym. If I don't, I'm going to start dicking around and it's not going to be a good situation. So yeah, lay your clothes out the night before if you're trying to get motivated to go to the gym. Now, any writers I have out here, because I write as well, complete your daily writing before anything else because you've got to have a fresh mind when you do it. Now, like I said, at the end of the day, you have to dominate the toughest task early, and it sets the tone for unstoppable productivity throughout the day. Now, for so many years, going to the gym was the easiest thing for me to do. And in the past 6 months, the biggest priority was YouTube and my job. So I was focused on money and my job. And so I always prioritize YouTube before going to the gym, even though I would still work out. For years, it was so hard for me to get started with YouTube and even do content. So it's really just about what season of life you're in and priority shifting. But you still have to always, make sure you have a structured schedule, reminders on your calendar. If you don't organize your fucking day, your life is not going to be organized and you're not going to achieve your goals. Excellence everywhere. You need to have excellence everywhere in your life. And that's what happens when you have, unstoppable productivity. Your life mirrors your environment. Like I said, having a clean car, having a clean appearance, having a clean apartment, your house, whatever. If you allow messiness externally in your life to build up, it means that you're going to have internal chaos. Now, maintain a clean living space. Maintain order in your workspace. Like I said, keep all of your personal spaces clean and organized. Discipline in small areas breeds excellence in every area. So you got to remember that. And you have to raise your standards universally in your life. Or what's going to happen is you'll lower them across the board. Raise your standards across the board, or they're all going to drop anyway. And you know what? Another point, you've got to kill perfectionism. Perfectionism is just cope a lot of the times, right? Perfectionism is really just procrastination wearing a disguise. Perfectionism is just procrastination wearing a disguise. Now, I know this because I've been a perfectionist my whole life, all or nothing kind of mindset sort of thing, but it's not a way to be. It's not the way to live. And discipline demands immediate action. Never wait for perfect conditions. They don't exist. Imperfect, consistent action always beats waiting for perfection any day of the week. Okay? So act now, take massive action now, and you can refine later, whether it's, health, fitness, and, just any kind of endeavor that you're doing. Mental toughness, bro. Mentally tough. That's what it's all about. And honestly, there's so many different analogies with the gym, fitness, and life. And fitness is the ultimate training ground for discipline. Build physical strength to develop mental resilience and mental calluses, right? For example, if you go crush a hard workout every single day, whether it's in the morning or in the evening, in the afternoon, it doesn't fucking matter. You go crush a hard workout, it sets you up. It primes you for the day. That's why I like hitting a hard workout in the morning, because it makes me better at my job. It makes me sharper. I've already had a win. I already got up, jumped in the cold shower. That was miserable for 2 minutes. And then put my clothes on, went to the gym, worked out for 45 minutes to an hour. Or I went for a run in the morning when everybody else is fucking sleeping. I already did that before I did anything for anyone else. And then when my day starts, when my work starts, I already have wins for the day. That's how it is, man. It's about stacking these wins consistently over and over. And when you do that, it breeds confidence and it's easier to do it. It's just like when you get that momentum, it's easier to keep the momentum when you had the momentum. It's just really hard just getting it going initially. And you have to, I can't stress this enough, guys, you have to prioritize your health to enhance your career and your relationships. Being healthy and in shape is the best investment you have in your body, and it impacts everything, whether it's in a good way or a bad way. But getting in good shape, man, it's going to be the highest ROI that you can have in your life, is pouring into yourself, okay? And you've got to use discipline as your shield against depression. I struggle with depression in my life. Natural sunlight, getting outside for a walk, even if it's for 20 minutes, exercise on a daily basis. You don't have to lift weights every day, but even just a walk or stretching or yoga or martial arts or something, man. Move every day. One of the biggest things that can combat mental health is exercise, getting outside, movement, being in nature, and purposeful activities that align with your goals. These are your allies, purposeful activities. And eventually, disciplined actions become a powerful source of joy and confidence, right? The disciplined actions, it gives you joy. You feel accomplished, right? Like you're stacking wins. Now, you have to be intentional about your decisions. You have to make frameworks for yourself. You have to establish frameworks and routines, right? And you have to be able to make decisions deliberately in your life, right? Never impulsively. So clearly state your decision. And you have to identify your motivations. Now you have to define your intended outcome. Now, where do I want to be? What's the objective? What's the objective and what's the long-term goal? And then you reverse engineer, right? And then you have to evaluate alternative actions, right? But you have to choose deliberately and consciously. And by doing this approach ensures alignment with your long-term vision and prevents weak, reactive choices. Now, the day will come, it will happen, but you have to be able to bounce back relentlessly with setbacks, with when you start to slide back, right? When you slip. Discipline isn't about being perfect. It's about relentless consistency. And that means when setbacks happen, you have to be able to bounce back fast. And you can't dwell on mistakes. You just immediately return to your routines, whether it's the gym, whatever it is. It's the porn, it's the gym, it's the food. Don't snowball it in a bad way Like, just get back up on the horse, man. Keep it going. Keep it rolling. Perfectionism does not exist, okay? Keep setbacks minor, though. You want to keep setbacks minor, but understand you're not perfect. And you don't want to allow them to derail your entire progress, because I see this happens all the time. I've coached men. I've coached women with health and fitness, helping them get their lives together and whatnot. And I see it happen, man. When the momentum is good, when it's rolling, it's good. And then if they have a setback, they just get right back on the horse. And sometimes I've seen it, man. It's happened to me years ago where it's like, you lose some momentum, you fall off the horse, get right back on. Don't keep, having weeks and weeks turn into months of bad eating and not going to the gym and working out and stopping reading and personal growth as a whole. We're going to screw up. Just keep it rolling. Okay? Now, if you need help one-to-one, I do coaching, so you can shoot me an email. My email is in the video description and also my bio. We can set up a video call, do a one-to-one call, whatever you need help with, your relationships, discipline, your life, anything. We can talk about whatever you want. So just shoot me an email and we can set something up. But I want you to imagine this clearly right now. A year from now, bro, you're unstoppable. You wake up every day, your discipline is locked in, your mind is razor sharp, you're fit, you're confident, respected. When you look in the mirror, you genuinely respect the man staring back when you look in the mirror, knowing that you've built him with your own disciplined choices. This isn't just fantasy, it's your future if you choose discipline today. The real reward isn't just the external success that you get, right? But the pride, the self-respect, the self-worth. It's the internal confidence. And that's what makes a confidence unshakable. And that's what makes you mentally tough. Doing the hard things, doing the things, getting the reps in. That's the confidence that discipline brings overall. And discipline, it doesn't just change your life. It changes you fundamentally as a person. Discipline is your ultimate power, my man. Discipline is freedom. So, all right, that's all I got for you guys today. If this hit home, smash the like button, subscribe if you're not already, and then share with a friend. Comment down below. Let me know, what is the one thing you struggle with regarding discipline in your life? Let me know. Later.